What's up, y'all? So this is part two. I'm pretty sure right here I had to swap batteries out. I ended up having to swap batteries had to swap batteries a few times. I guess right here I'm trying to flip the screen around, but gonna get back to rocking and rolling here in a few. Uh, and I'm editing these videos in the car, so y'all hear any noises, I'm sleek outside, but I'm in my car, so I'm outside in the car. Well, if y'all hear any squeaks or anything, I'm in the car, propped up, making this video, or editing this video, if you will. But yeah. And originally this was like a 30-minute video, but I done sped everything up. Y'all can see it's kind of moving right there, which is expected. It gotta give because the four-wheeler's not going nowhere. It's chained up in the back and we prying on the front of the four-wheeler, so something gotta give, which I thought was impossible, but it's possible. Like I said in the first part, sometimes two heads better than one. You know, prying on it. Sometimes you got to get another perspective on stuff. Sometimes your perspective, this might be enough, because you might think something's not possible, but somebody else could come and look at something, or no, that's possible, that's doable, but sometimes you gotta let someone else look at stuff. Me, a lot of times I just ask my dad. He 9 times out of 10 he got an answer for me somehow, how to figure something out. So but yeah, prying on it. I'm not for sure in this part, but we're gonna get to where we hook, which is kind of not of a good idea, but and it bent that crowbar a little bit, bent that one up. But I had the idea of hooking the winch onto some of the parts, because it just needed to move a little bit, but it ended up all working out. We took a little step back from it, trying to figure it out, because eventually we got to where we didn't need to move it much. It just needed to move a little bit so we could put the bolts back in that we did have. So yeah. I don't know. Oh, my daddy went and got a board. Oh. See, I would have never thought of doing that. I would have never thought of doing that. Like I said, I really didn't think this was doable, for how bad it was. I didn't even think it was doable. But it definitely was. It definitely was doable. Definitely was doable. Can't remember what my dad went in the back looking for. I think he might have got another piece of wood. So we ended up having 2 pieces of wood. One was a little longer. A lot of times with stuff like this, you need to get something longer so you can get some leverage. That gets you some leverage. Working with something short, can't move much. You can't get much leverage on it. Even though that board right there is a little more flimsier and it has some give to it, but it just gives you a little bit more leverage is what you might just need, to put a move on something. Kind of like when we put that, my dad put that bar on that come along, gave you more leverage. You could put a move on it, extend it out a little bit, and it gives you more leverage. Let's see, I think this is where I was talking about we put that winch on it. Put the winch on it to kind of excuse me, help pull some of the parts on along. But see, we both able to counter the pry on it. We couldn't have been able to do that with that little short board. Wouldn't have been able to do it with that short board. Dad was probably pointing out how much it done moved, or I don't think we took that bolt all the way off. We just loosened it, but I'm pretty sure the bolt on the other side we took all the way off, and that kind of gave us a problem because with that bolt being out, it kind of moved past the hole, and it was hard for us to get that bolt on the right side back in. I think the left one went back in all right. That one went back in all right, but that right one, the right side, gave us a hard time. Again, we pulling on it again. One thing you want to make sure you're doing something like that, especially with a piece of wood, you don't want to break it and get popped with it. That's one thing my dad was saying. You have to be careful. That wood will break and it'll come back and pop you if you're not careful. Wood will come back and pop you. I'm trying to think. This probably was about say how long it took us. The first video was like 35 minutes long. This video was like 30 minutes long. It took us a little over 2 hours messing with it. I say probably almost a good 3 hours of messing with it. I can't remember if I got it all on camera. Pretty sure, but all of this is on camera of everything that we did to it. You see that right side? I think I don't know if I was putting that bolt back in on the right side or what, but I know that right side gave us some trouble. Left side was pretty easy going because I don't think we took the bolt all the way out on that side. For some reason we took the bolt all the way out on the right side, which what my daddy was saying, you have to loosen it up a little bit to get it to move. You know, it gives some give in it, which you would think keeping it bolted up would do the same thing, but loosening it up a little bit gives it a little bit more give in it to try to move. So I believe that's what we had did. Yeah, I believe that's what we had did. See, working on that right side. That's what was giving us all the trouble. Pretty sure the last few minutes of this video is gonna be us working on that right side, and then most of part 3 is gonna be us working on that right side. That's what gave us all the trouble. If y'all remember in the first part, the guy had took my daddy's rubber mallet, so we had to mess with that metal sludge hammer. See right here, I hooked that onto the metal, trying to pull it over some more, but y'all gonna see what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna end up breaking that metal pin, but ended up fixing. I can't remember if we fixed that on camera or not, but that's fixed back in. End up breaking that that pin on that pin. I think it broke down too. It pulled through it. End up doing damage while you're fixing stuff, but sometimes that's how it go. You end up breaking something else while you fixing on something. Even if y'all hear my stomach growling. Oh, I think when we filmed this video, or when I filmed this video, I'm editing it a few days after. I kind of was putting it off editing this I edited the parts where I went and picked the 4-wheeler up, but I was putting off editing it. Sometimes I don't like doing voiceovers. Sometimes I don't like doing voiceovers, but I have to do a voiceover because can't have that music playing. I wasn't gonna tell my daddy to cut his music off because he was helping me. Now I'm gonna tell him he can't listen to music. You know? So I'm voicing him over. Yeah, I'm voicing it over. The other day I flew my drone. I know this kind of off subject, but I got that DJI mic, and you know the drone doesn't record sound; it just does video. But with that DJI mic, I can kind of real time voice record, if that make any sense. So the video doesn't have sound, but I'm using the mic as a voice recorder. That's a good feature on those DJI mics. They're voice recorders too, and I think they have 16 gigabytes of storage on them. So I voiced over to the video of me flying a DJI, my DJI drone. So that came in handy. I didn't have to worry about doing it after the fact. I was kind of doing it in real time. The only thing to that is I really don't know how to sync the audio up. Like, I have to figure out how to sync the audio up good. When I edited that video, I just let everybody know that the audio kind of wasn't synced up. So, but yeah, back on this 4-wheeler. We still working on that right side. I don't think we got that bolt in, if I'm not mistaken. Still prying on it. But yeah, I catch y'all in part 3. Y'all be good. I appreciate y'all watching. All right.